Hello, everyone. This is Ed K. Smith from the Asset Show. I am the co-host of the show with the other co-host of the show, Mr. Rob K, that sexy-looking guy with the sunny glasses on. And we have, you can respond to that later, Rob. And we have Dave Haslop on the podcast with us today, who is the founder of the Australian Crypto Convention and also the Crypto Den. Welcome, Dave. How are you, mate?
Good, Ed. How you doing, mate? Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Thanks for coming on. We are very excited to talk about the crypto convention because I think it's a fantastic thing that we've got something that good happening in Australia. There's some really good speakers coming to it. Rob and I may make our way there because we are the ultimate crypto people in Australia, Rob and I. So we're gonna go there and make everyone feel special. Only kidding.
At the moment, the flights are really. Hopefully, all the flights are sorted out.
Can't get flights.
Apparently, one in 13
We're in Perth, mate.
Cancelled at the moment, but not for this convention. I'm sure.
No, it'll be fine by then. But no one wants people from Perth.
Just charter a private jet for the convention, guys.
Yeah. We'll
do that. We'll do that.
We'll pay in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So this is a first for many reasons on this podcast. Normally, Rob stands up at his stand-up desk. I normally sit down at my stand-up desk, but I'm now standing up at my stand-up desk. And Dave is standing up at his stand-up desk. So we're all stand-up guys. So this is the stand-up crypto podcast. Will be referred to from this point on. So I came across Dave and thought, shit, we've really got to get him on the show because this is, even though at the time of this recording, for the last many weeks and months, crypto has been in the shitter with pretty much every other asset class in the world as well. But of course, crypto is the ugly stepsister child, whatever you want to call it, that people often go, well, say, I told you it was never going to work. All these people out there saying that it was a waste of time, Web3, blockchain, blah, blah, blah. Heard it all before. Same story as when the internet started. We talk about this all the time. So Dave, let's get a bit of a backstory. And we were just talking pre-recording about our Bitcoin woes stories of when we knew that we could buy Bitcoin when it was 2 cents or $80 or $300, and people we know that had 2,000 that blew it all on crap and ended up still having 90 of them. But, we all got our Bitcoin crypto stories, the ones that got away. So give us a bit of a backstory, Dave. How the heck did you get involved in the whole cryptocurrency space to lead you to the point of putting on a whole convention in Australia?
Yeah.
Would you believe me if I told you that it was a Facebook post?
Of course I would.
A random Facebook post. So like I said to you guys before we started recording, I first heard of Bitcoin when it was about $80, but I dismissed it within 2 seconds. I just didn't even give it a thought. And then years ago, I think it was the start of 2017 into 2016. It's a bit blurry, but I was scrolling through Facebook on my phone and this post came up in a group I'm in, and it was basically a guy asking other people if they had invested in ant shares. And I had no idea what ant shares were. And so I Googled it and I discovered that it's this cryptocurrency.
Right.
Obviously, that led me down this rabbit hole of, well, what's cryptocurrency? I discovered Ethereum. I read up on Ethereum. I discovered Bitcoin, and I thought there's something in this. There's this digital money, this digital revolution, and Ethereum were I think just starting to do smart contracts and things like that. And I thought this is really cool. Yeah. And I think at the time Bitcoin was around about $900 at that time.
Yep. Okay.
So I invested without even knowing what I was doing. I had investment capital there. I put some money into it. I thought this is something, it might pay off in a few years. Little did I know it paid off in less than a year. In a really good way, which was excellent. But I also bought a whole bunch of ant shares because that was the first thing that I discovered. And at the time it was like, from memory, maybe around 5 cents or 2 cents, 7 cents or something like that. And ant shares turned into Neo, and Neo I think went to about $150.
Wow. Nice.
So from an investment standpoint, it was really good, really lucky. And I didn't sell it at $150. I sold it a lot sooner than that. So one of those what could have been moments.
Yep.
But then after that, I thought, well, I've done okay out of this punt. I should probably learn more about it, and started researching the fundamentals of it. And through that, I discovered trading, and I started asking other people how to read charts and, what it all means. And then I went on this huge, big task and this big journey to educate myself on how to read charts. And I read books and watched podcasts and basically did everything. And I did everything wrong too. I learned, I watched YouTube videos and all these self-proclaimed experts and all that crap, and made a lot of mistakes along the way. And I've learned more from the mistakes than I ever learned from YouTube, by the way.
Yes.
Agree.
Unfortunately, that's life. That's true.
It's kind of the only way to do it. I was paying people on like Telegram and Twitter in the early days as well, who said, we've got all the answers. Like I knew they didn't, but it's another way to learn. So I'd use a little bit of money to follow what they're saying and see that they're actually screwing up, and then how they would manipulate it into and turn it into a positive and ask for more money. And
I
learn along the way, right?
Yeah, I followed a few people like that. They're essentially like a signal service where they'd share a chart and, you jump in and follow their trades. And then if it went wrong, they'd somehow spin it in a way that said, I told you so, or something. And,
That's right.
they're always winners, no one ever loses a trade in this world. So but through that, I wanted to learn how to do it properly. So I went back and studied how people traded the stock markets and the Forex markets and the fundamentals behind understanding how all that works. And to transfer that into a crypto market, it's very, very similar. It's a lot faster. It's a lot more volatile. But because I've learned in that environment, it's when you go to the Forex or the stock markets now, it's kind of boring. It's too slow.
Who's got 5 years to wait? No one.
Yeah, right. So
yeah.
And then through that, I started teaching other people how to trade, or how to understand charts, not so much implemented in a trade as such. And from there, it just progressed. And I started the Crypto Den, and we're up to about 55,000 members in the Crypto Den now. And
fantastic.
Last year, we started doing trading courses or teaching people how to chart and how to understand charts and all that sort of stuff. And we've got a great community, and then
superb.
So I started with a Facebook post that I just read, and I thought, cool.
Yep, that's an awesome story. And it's one of those things that's you just never know where the next direction is going to come from, that's going to take you down a path. Like I look at the rabbit hole. I mean, I obviously knew about crypto before this, but the main reason I'm involved in crypto is because of Rob. Rob was the one that was active many, many years before me. And I was watching what he was doing and going, I've got to learn more about this, because this is where things are going. This is the future. And there's too many people who are my age.
That was when things were good.
That was,
but you couldn't really mess it up. If you put a bunch of money in, it was going up only. When I got head into it.
I had a few that didn't act like that for me. I think as soon as I got involved, that's when it all turned to shit. So everyone can blame me. It's my fault. I touched crypto.
We got pretty lucky because when we sort of reached that peak at 2018 there, it was around the time that I really started to understand the charts. And I started seeing people with far more experience than me saying things like that they're seeing reversal signs, and it could see a bit of a downturn. And I was able to sort of look at the chart and go, okay, I think I understand what they're saying. This does look bad. I think I'm just going to sell everything. So I didn't quite sell at the top. I started to sell it as it started to come back down when Bitcoin was around 15,000.
Yeah, that's still genius if you can do that, man.
It's just luck to begin with. And then after that, I had 2 years to really solidify my knowledge and my understanding of everything. And now, I do it every day. So.
Let me interject with this particular path that we're on, just to be clear, that this is not financial advice on this show. This is all just our opinions, educational purposes only. Do your own research, seek financial advice. Don't listen to anything these three stand-up guys are saying, because even though we could mean well, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to turn out well for you. So do your own financial advice. Don't come and try and sue us later, because we're going to say, go and watch this. All right. Okay. Now that we've said that. Cool.
So Dave, we should go and have a look at your website a little bit. I think there's a great quote on there as well, at thecryptoden.com.au, which is here. Thecryptoden.com.au. I like this bit about you've got about the founder here. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows, which is, I think you're basically saying, don't be closed-minded, right?
Pretty much. You've got to keep learning. And this is one of my big passions in life in general, is that if you stop learning, your brain sort of turns off. And it's just like your body. If you stop moving, your body starts to hurt.
Yes.
You've got to keep learning something. And in crypto especially, there is always something new to learn. There's so much to understand. And I haven't even scratched the surface myself. The NFTs, the DAOs, the DeFi, and it's evolving so quick. You look at 2017 compared to 2022 in such a short amount of time.
Unreal.
How far the industry has come and the new things that we've already seen. So, Rob, it's, to me, the education side of thing is something I'm extremely passionate about.
Yeah, we can tell, and I think that's why Ed wanted to get you on the show, and I'm glad you've come on. That's what people can go it alone, but you can make so many mistakes and lose so many kind of years doing it on your own. So, I mean, we had Ben on a couple of weeks ago. If people go back to past shows, he's educating people about the crypto industry. And yourself now, I mean, we want to give our viewers, introduce them to some people in some ways that they can learn more about it if they want to hop into blockchain and crypto type trades.
Yeah, he was over in the States just recently with Steve Ellis at the whole NFT and .nyc thing and all the other. It was an interesting story. A lot going on, of course, in America.
Yeah, he said he was having a ball at these conventions, which is why we want to talk about your convention as well. I think it's all fun and games for us to hop on Zoom and watch YouTube videos and to pay $1 Ethereum to some dude on Telegram who's going to show us how to trade. I think the best way to get involved in an industry is, of course, face-to-face. So we should all hop off from behind our computers and hop on a plane and go to a couple of these conventions. This is what Ed and I have done in the past, especially, I mean, because we run DBR, the Domain Digital Asset website and brokerage service. Most of our skills got developed from meeting people face-to-face and going to these conventions. So now that Ed and I are really into this crypto space, we're going to start going out to more of these conventions. Let's start talking about your convention. I'll share the screen again.
Yeah, what possessed you, Dave? Because I haven't done anything that big. I've done just things based in Perth, and it's a.
Sometimes I ask myself the same question. It's a monumental task to do something this big. Far greater than I anticipated, that's for sure. I don't have a background in event management or event planning, so I've hired people to help me with that side of things. But to touch on what you were just saying before, Rob, in person, and something that occurred to me just before I sort of had the idea was at least half the people you talk to in person still think of cryptocurrency as a scam. They don't understand the real world utility that a lot of these cryptocurrencies and coins and all that actually have outside of the economic world. Even just in the tech world alone, there's so much utility there. So when you read about it on the internet, it's very easy to dismiss it, just like I dismissed Bitcoin at $80 and go, well, it's on the internet, it can't be true, it can't be real, don't believe everything you read sort of attitude. And so why not put on an event where people can go to it and they can talk to it, they can touch it, they can hear it, they can feel it, they can see it in person in real life, and can see that, hang on, this is actually really cool emerging technology that's going to change the world. It's going to change the financial system. ANZ starting their own stable coins.
Yes.
Commonwealth announcing they're getting into and allowing Bitcoin, which I think they did put a halt on that for now, but they'll come back to that soon enough.
Yeah.
So,
the timing's not right.
Yeah, and for the educator in me, I'm sort of thought to myself, well, let's put on this event and let's show people that it's real. It gives people that are already into cryptocurrency a place to go to and hang out with like-minded people and have a bit of fun and learn some new things, maybe, because I'm still learning new things. Why wouldn't other people learn new things? And then also gives the opportunity for people to come and learn what it's all about that aren't already in the space. And then you've got the startup opportunity as well. So come and present your startup. Show us what you're creating. What's something new that we haven't heard of yet? Come and show us. And it started out about a quarter of the size that it's at now. So it wasn't supposed to be as big, and it just kind of took on a life of its own.
Hang on. So has there been? This is not the first one.
No, this is the first one.
Okay.
I just didn't plan it to be as big as what it came.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, initially. So to put it in perspective, I hired a quarter, which is one hall at the Gold Coast Convention and Exhibition Centre. Now I've got the whole thing.
Wow.
Shit.
So Ed and I, we're coming to this thing on the 17th and 18th of September.
Yeah.
We're gonna put a banner on the front of assets.com.au as well. People have got to get out there and start mingling again and getting over this pandemic stuff and learning from each other, networking.
And have some fun doing it. Something that I've noticed with a lot of crypto and blockchain conferences and things like that in Australia, they're very, how do you put it, stale?
Serious.
Yeah, very serious, very stale. And it's great for networking and it's great for meeting new people and discovering technologies, but it is very serious. What I wanted to put together was something that was fun, a bit of a party vibe where we're going to have a DJ, some music. There's an after party. Let's have some fun with people that just love it.
Like VCon, man. I don't know if you watched the whole VCon.
Amazing?
Yeah. So what for people listening, VCon is Gary Vaynerchuk's conference. His first one just happened a month or so ago called VCon, VEE-Con 22. And I know several people were at it, and I watched as much as I can that was available online on YouTube, etc. And a very, very, very different conference. It was like most people weren't there attending and sitting down just watching people talk. There was that, but they had so many other breakout sessions, different stands, different things all around this whole freaking stadium that they'd booked out. And it was mainly people were just saying making connections, doing deals. Full on. So that's the sort of thing. That's why I go to conventions, conferences, whatever you want to call them. For that, I don't really go to get the content. You can get the content anywhere. You can get the content watching a YouTube video of someone talking.
Yeah, that's right.
Who wants to do that? I mean, that's, who cares? Great, it's good, but it's not the connection side of it. The after parties, that's where the deals get done.
And the networking. And you know what? This is how people's business life can change as well, because you'll have digital asset investors coming, but you can have tech guys who come from, just PHP programmers that are mucking around with normal 90s and 2000s kind of tech. And if they come there and open their eyes to see all this new kind of blockchain technology, they can start getting into that, making connections, meeting entrepreneurs who can maybe back them to build them something on the blockchain, on the Avalanche network or the Ethereum network. Basically, if you come to this thing, your business life could change, because I've seen it happen before. My business life changed when I went to the first NamesCon convention in Las Vegas about domain names. I mean, that's when my brokerage firm really, really took off, because you make a lot of connections and it inspires you to go, oh, I get it. I was talking to this person at this nightclub drinking a tequila sunrise, and they said that they needed this to happen. And I thought, I can make that happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've got a lot of VCs flying over from all over the world to be here too. So for those that are showcasing their tech startups and things like that, this is a really good opportunity to really showcase what they're doing, because the VCs that are going to be there, they're there for a reason. They want to find something to invest in.
Yeah, 100%. And the interesting thing that I found about Sorry, yeah, the interesting thing that I found out with conferences is because we're in this digital world and we have this connection online, often when you actually go and then get to meet the person in the physical form, that just cements that whole relationship better than anything I've ever experienced.
And trust.
Yeah.
When we eyeball each other, we trust each other way more than just looking at a computer screen.
Yeah.
It's more deals happen that way.
Yeah.
Sure.
And isn't it sad to say that it's old school now?
Yeah, it is.
Meeting someone in
it's old school,
become old school.
Going to convention. Anyone that thinks I don't need to go, I can just hop on, watch it on YouTube. There's you can't replicate that energy. I'm sorry. It's like watching a band on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's different than if you actually go there.
Well, we have no intention on live streaming any of this. So if you want to see it, you've got to be there.
Great.
That's good, mate. Fantastic incentive for people to get off there. Yeah, you're not going to see it.
Want to go to the Gold Coast anyway? Come on.
Well, that's why we chose it. Not only like I live on the Gold Coast, so this to me it makes sense. It's home. Yeah. But even when we looked at other venues, we looked at Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, and we thought, look, coronavirus, COVID, it's had everyone in Australia locked down for 2 years. It makes sense to do it on the Gold Coast. Give everyone a holiday. People have been wanting to get out of Melbourne, especially for so long. Let's give them a holiday destination, something fun to do, something educational, and in probably one of the nicest parts of Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereabouts do you live, Dave? Are you in the Gold Coast or are you?
Yeah, I'm on the Gold Coast,
Yeah. That's another smart reason for having it there, just saying. You don't get a holiday. You don't get to...
No, I don't.
The next one you'll have to do on Perth because, Perth's, we fantastic over here.
It is beautiful in Perth, but no one lives there, mate. You two are the only people there.
These two geezers at the top of the screen live there, and that's all that matters, isn't that right, Rob?
We do have both Sydney and Melbourne pitching us for next year. We've already got a lot of our sponsors for this year have already signed on for next year.
Great.
Which is excellent. So it is something that we'll be able to continue to do year after year, and we'll move it around the country. So next year we are looking at either Sydney or Melbourne, and they're like I said, they're both pitching us at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. And as soon as we know, hopefully we can announce this at this year's convention where the next one will be.
Yeah, that's amazing. And just also just be transparent, we are not sponsored by Dave to be putting him on this show. This was not paid for in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. So
and if you see his banner on our front page, he's not paying for that either.
He's not paying for that, no. So you can remove your skepticism about that because it's we can say it 100% on here. And look, Rob and I want to go just as much as anyone else for all the reasons we've just spoken about. So for those who are thinking about going, what are the benefits of going other than the things that we've touched on? Say who do you think is going to be a typical person turning up to this convention?
I think there'll be two different types of people predominantly. So that the first one will be already people that are in crypto enthusiasts that have been in the industry for a while and know about some of the speakers that we're having come along, some of the companies and sponsors that we've got.
Yep.
And then the other person will be and this is an audience that I'm really trying to captivate here as well, is those that want to learn more about it. So we've got people coming from all over the world to teach people the different areas of blockchain and cryptocurrency. So you can see that we've actually got a lot more speakers than that. So we have been announcing them on our social media, but we're about to put all of our speakers onto the website this week. So we're using an app, a convention app that every user will be able to download before going to the convention. And through this app, you'll be able to network with other people, other delegates, attendees. You'll be able to request meetings with some of our speakers, our sponsors, all sorts of things within the app. You can watch the keynote speaking and things like that directly from the app as well. So if you're at the venue and you can't get a seat or you can't see properly, you can watch it within the app. There's the ability to do a Q&A as well. So for example, if you've got a question for one of the speakers, the MC or the moderator can see your questions through that event app. And that's what's
Awesome.
going to be uploaded to the website this week as well, which will contain all of our speakers. And we'll continue to add to it over the next 2 months as well. So
Great.
That is cool. That is cool. So the next,
and then the other side of it is education. So we've got a lot of workshops. So myself and my team, we're going to be doing a workshop on how to trade cryptocurrencies and how to read the markets. We've got Danielle from She's Blockchain Savvy. She's going to be doing some workshops on actual blockchain technology and learning about the technology itself, which is the underlying tech for cryptocurrency. Travis Dobbing, another Gold Coaster, he's going to be doing a workshop on DeFi. We've got security workshops, NFT galleries. So we're trying to put together an all-inclusive package so that you can learn everything. We've got a big company. I'm not sure if you guys heard of them, TCG World. It's a big metaverse company.
Okay.
TCG World, is it?
Yeah, they're massive. They've just set 2 world records for the largest digital land sales in history. So they broke the record about a month ago, and then they broke their own record again a couple of weeks ago.
Wow.
And it was in the $5 million, I think, in a single land sale for virtual land.
Yeah, wow.
Cool.
TCG.
I own nftland.com.au. Just saying, because we are the asset show. Just because we are the asset show, and the domains and all this stuff cross over.
These guys are really cool. So what they've done is they've taken your typical sort of, and it's funny I say that, your typical in 2022, your typical metaverse, and rather than having it as just an exploratory world, they've gamified it. So they've turned it into an online video game where you can have dragons and, find creatures and all sorts of stuff. You can fly around and drive cars and build houses and own land and all sorts of things that are really, really cool. So they're going to be at the convention in a really big way. They've actually got the largest stand out of everybody.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. And they're going to be bringing along, they'll have a setup where people can come along and actually try out the game and use it as well. So same with Alluvium. So Alluvium, which is have you guys heard of Alluvium? Yeah, so an Australian-based startup, another metaverse and gaming company. So that's pretty exciting as well. And that's the future of gaming. The future of gaming, especially, which is the largest industry in the world. It's going into Web3. It's going into the NFT space and tangible assets.
Yeah, wow. We're touching on this in like minutes. If people come to the conference, the convention, they can meet all these people and ask more questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
what I want people to know. It's more than just a Bitcoin.
Yeah, people. This is the problem we've got with this whole industry is we called it cryptocurrency 11 years ago when Bitcoin came out. That's a mistake.
Yeah.
It should have been called blockchain technology or whatever it should have been called, because the currency side of it is a small part of it.
Definitely.
I mean, there's centralized finance, there's play to earn, there's NFTs, there's a whole world out there. And for those people who do get into that, I'm glad I'm not into it because it's a scam. Sure, 95% of these NFTs and the currencies and blockchain tokens are scams, but the 5% that are not scams are going to change the world and wherever.
Definitely. And I think from last time I checked, there was about 19,000 active cryptocurrency coins or tokens, 19,000 of them. And you're right, 95% of them will do absolutely nothing. And they'll rug pull, they'll scam, they'll disappear, they'll go broke, which is what we're seeing a lot of at the moment.
Yeah.
But the 5% that stand, that's the future of the entire world.
Exactly. We're all on the same page there. So if you go to a convention, you can meet the people who believe in the 5% is the future of the world, and we can talk about that. Screw the 95% crap.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're fully on board, mate. We're you're preaching to the choir, let me say, and which is great because we're not arguing with you. This is why we do this podcast, to try and help educate people out there and open their eyes. I was having a conversation with a client of ours just yesterday, and he was saying, I'm so glad I didn't get involved in any of that crypto shit. This is what he said to me. These are his words. If you're listening, you know who you are.
I had someone say that to me as well.
Yeah, and I'm saying, well, Yeah, that's only a fraction of the whole story. So you're just getting what the mainstream media wants to shove down your throat, and you know, negative stuff, and sells gets eyeballs on and makes money for their advertisers. And
Exactly.
This
I
is
get
all
tagged
happening.
in post stuff all the time for it.
Yeah, and anyone who's saying that, I'm glad I didn't hop in. When they hop in, they've got exactly zero experience.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad that I hopped in. And if anyone hopped in and then they've come back to where they hopped in and it was just a roller coaster ride and they've made no profit and they're not up or down, they've got so much experience now to go, okay, let's go again.
Look, at the end of the day, Bitcoin is still sitting and hovering around that $20,000 mark. You know, anyone that can say that that's a negative thing, they're sitting at a loss in their own wallets. But to think it's not going to find new all-time highs again, is silly in my mind. Bitcoin went from $20,000 to $3,000, from $3,000 to $65,000. This is US. Back down to $20,000 again. So it's not over. You see it in mainstream media. I get tagged in things all the time on Facebook. Hey, Dave, how's your Bitcoins going? Hey, Dave, are you getting worried yet? And I say no, because I believe in what it is. I believe in what it stands for. And I believe in mathematics and economics and scarcity. You know,
you've done the deep dive, mate.
Yeah, that's right. And it's a very young market still. So in the future, Bitcoin especially will be a hedge for a lot of big money. Absolutely. You know, at the moment we see people going into gold, you know, in times of economic uncertainty with what's happening over in the Ukraine and everything else. We've seen gold, you know, fluctuating quite a lot the last couple of months. And it's because people are moving out of the stock market, which, by the way, everyone is going down as well. And they're moving it into gold. Once the masses realize that Bitcoin is a far more effective version of gold, that's where you're going to see a lot of capital flow to. And the stock market, I think, is a $65 trillion industry. And Bitcoin and also crypto as a whole peaked at just under 3 trillion.
Yep.
It's so young. There's no money in it yet.
And you know what? Anyone who isn't even interested in Bitcoin itself, when Bitcoin starts going back up, because it will, at the right time, they should start doing their own research into, well, what else is going to come along with it?
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of stuff that we know that is going to come along with it, but also new stuff that's going to be created. And I mean, one of the best ways to do this is to go to these conventions, because you hear about stuff for the first time where someone says, well, I know a guy who's working on this. They don't get on Facebook or Twitter and say this stuff, but they'll tell you over a beer at a convention.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. And also, just so you guys know, just the internet's a fad, and .coms all done for. So don't waste your time.
Sell all your .coms in the year 2000. They're worthless.
It's the same thing. History repeats, and I think
I'm still trying to convince my own dad that Bitcoin is a worthy investment and will be the future, and crypto as a whole. I'm still trying to convince my father-in-law of the same thing. Both of them think I'm absolutely mad. So, you know, not everyone's going to get it. Not everyone's going to want to be part of it, especially those in the older generations. They're not going to want to be a part of it. That being said, I have noticed a trend recently that it has been the over 50s that are starting to come into the market a lot more. Whether that's because they've got investment capital there more than 21-year-olds. I think they're starting to see that shift now.
And they may think this could be the bottom.
Yeah,
too, maybe. Yeah. Now they're like, this is my chance.
The reason they're doing that is because they're all watching this podcast, just saying. All the old geezers.
We should be live streaming it, really.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be a good idea. But no. All joking aside, I know a lot of people my age who still can't even friggin' use their computer to go on the internet. So you got to be patient. And look, we're getting up on our high horses about what we think and what we know and what we're sure is going to happen. Of course, none of us really know what's going to happen, but we have a firm belief, having spent a lot more time than your average person in this space, looking at the underlying technology, things that are happening. So we see the iceberg. Most people are only seeing the tip. But what you're doing.
And don't get me wrong, while I do firmly believe that Bitcoin will find new highs, I also think that.
Sorry, I missed what you said there. You cut out a bit there, Dave.
That's okay. I was just saying that while I firmly believe Bitcoin will find new highs, I also don't think that we've found a bottom yet either. So I do think we will see lower prices.
Me too.
And I hope that for everyone's sake out there holding them wrong, but I do think we'll go a little bit lower before we go up again.
I've been saying on the last few of our podcasts, don't forget the next Bitcoin halving, which people can research what that is. It comes up in like April 2024. So I reckon there's a lot of volatility between now and April 2024. I think there's a lot of opportunity to get in. You don't have to get in today. I think from today until April 24, you've got to pick your spot.
Yeah. And you've just said it, you've just nailed it there, opportunity. This is where the money is made. For those that are in it for an investment purpose, it's in these doom and gloom times that you make your money. Because if you start scaling into the market now, for example, I've started coming back into the market already. Even though I do think it's still going to go lower, I'll dollar cost average my way into the market for the next 2 years if I have to. But I know that when things turn around, just like those people that bought Bitcoin at $3,000 and went to $65,000, they're going to benefit in the long run. So it's times like now where I think people should really start to educate themselves and start learning more about this.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I think that's our mission. I think all three of us, coincidentally, is to, we can't get angry at people who don't understand it, because what people don't understand, they fear, and then they, turn on it because of those reasons. So education is the key, which is obviously what you're doing with the crypto convention and with the crypto den. What we're trying to do with the assets show, and we'll continue to do it. And if just some people watch this and go, okay, I'm going to look into this more, because these three guys really seem to know what they're talking about. And well, at least one of them does. The one beneath Rob and I, he definitely knows what he's talking about. Rob and I, no, we do know what we're talking about. But you've got to get a point where you make a decision. Okay, I'm going to research this. I'm going to start digging. Because what have you got to lose? Don't put any money in. Don't invest in anything. Just start reading, start watching, start going to things. Listen to podcasts or watch podcasts.
Exactly. My first investment was $30, to dip my toes into it. I'll never forget it. I went to a news agency. I uploaded, I put $30 into a CoinSpot account, and that was me dipping my toes in. Yeah. And that's how it all started for me. So you don't have to go crazy.
No.
Exactly. So awesome. Anything else, Rob, we got for Dave before?
Well, do you know what? We've been going quite a while now, and I hope that Dave will be very keen to come back, like literally a couple of weeks out, like maybe at the beginning of September, to say, this is what's happening. These are the new people that have come on board, and we'll have another chat with Dave a couple of weeks out. And Ed, I'm telling you, you and me are going.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm with you on that one. And
maybe you can live stream from the convention, guys.
I'll walk around with a phone, like.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. The assets show at the Australian Crypto Convention. So that is fantastic. Well done, mate. It takes balls to put on something like this.
Thanks, mate.
It's a big job, and we're happy to do our bit and support it as much as possible. And as Rob said, happy to put a banner on. So anyone who's watching this now, if you want to find out how to get there, you can go to assets.com.au, or you can go to, what's your URL, Dave?
CryptoCon.com.
That's it. That's definitely one way to get there. And anyway, we'll have it in the show notes. We'll have all the links in the show notes on assets.com.au, and also on YouTube. We'll put some. And whoever's watching this, we hope to see you there.
I just want to really quickly put out a big thanks as well to our sponsors. So SwiftX, naming rights sponsor, CoinSpot, TrigonX, Binance Australia. Who else we got? CoinStop, Crypto News Australia. There's so many sponsors, Fireblocks. You know, without all of these guys, we couldn't be doing this.
Oh yeah, here we go.
So
cool.
It's going to be great.
CoinJar, of course.
Yeah.
So, and SwiftX have been absolutely amazing, working really closely with us to
They're
bring
good.
it to people. So
Yeah, I'm affiliated with SwiftX in an affiliate way. So
yeah. Hey,
Well,
on that
so
one, see that the K-Safe just there? I'd love to give these guys a shout out, because what they're doing is really, really cool, and it could save a life. And what they've built is an app that you use on your phone while you're driving that rewards you for safe driving. So it's integrated with Google Maps and all that sort of stuff. So if you sticking to the speed limit, you get rewarded. If you don't touch your phone while you're driving, you get rewarded. If you take proper rest breaks on long trips, you get rewarded.
Nice.
So I just want to give them a bit of a shout out, because they're a startup, they're a small team, they're a really, really good group of guys and a good team. But their reason for doing what they do is really great. And I think if it saves a single life doing it, then
100%. 100%. That sounds great. And this is some great integration of technology for this sort of stuff. And this is, you know, people need to look past their very limited Bitcoin, crypto is a scam stuff, and start looking at some of that sort of usage. And this is where things are going to really, these sorts of things are changing the world. 10 years time, it's going to be ubiquitous in our life. You know, all of this stuff is just going to be woven in, just like the Web 1 and Web 2 internet is of the world today. Web 3 related stuff with blockchain technology underlying it all is going to be part of everybody's life, whether they know it or not.
One of our speakers, Nick Abraham, he does a really good keynote on NFTs, and I recommend everyone watch that as well. The way NFTs are going to change our world. So,
what was his name?
Nick Abraham.
Nick Abraham. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I will note that down. All right.
17th and the 18th of September, Gold Coast Convention Centre. See you there.
I'll see you there.
See you. We'll see you all there. And if you are watching these videos for the first time and you haven't liked or subscribed to our channel, if you're on YouTube, please do so. Helps us a lot, gets more message out there about what we're doing, what we're talking about. And help support Dave and the Australian Crypto Convention. And we'll see you on the next episode, everyone. Thanks for coming. Thanks, Dave. Been great having you on. Thanks.